The member from Toronto Danforth.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, my question to the acting Premier. During a town hall meeting that I held this week in my riding, I met a couple who told me they were living on a senior's pension of $1,400 a month. Their rent is $1,000 a month. They're terrified that their landlord will seek an above-guideline rent increase that will make it impossible for them to live in their unit or make it impossible for them to buy food. They were told they'd have to wait 10 to 15 years for an affordable housing unit. It's not clear they're going to live another 10 to 15 years. So after 14 years of Liberal government, why do seniors still live in fear that they may lose their homes because of an unfair, unreasonable, unaffordable rent increase?
Minister of Housing.
Well, thank you, Speaker, and thank you for that important question. And it certainly is top of mind for many of us living in Ontario. And I can say, Speaker, that it's absolutely unacceptable that so many Ontarians are faced with housing costs that are rising so dramatically, and there is real anxiety within that market. You know, families on tight budgets, such as seniors, really are feeling the pinch of a rental market that is struggling to keep up with demand. So we're developing, as I've said before in this House, we are developing a number of plans to address both the anxiety in the rental market and housing affordability as well, Mr. Speaker. You know, we're working with our municipal partners to make secondary suites more readily available. We've passed inclusionary zoning. We have frozen the municipal property tax. So in short, Mr. Speaker, we understand the anxiety, we understand the problem.
Very good.
Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. Back to the acting Premier. The NDP brought in real rent control when it was in government. The PC government killed it, and it has stayed killed under the Liberal government. Before the 2003 election, Liberals described the loss of rent control as, quote, a betrayal of tenants, unquote. They promised real rent protection for tenants. But after winning the election, the Liberals decided to keep betraying tenants for another 14 years.
Shame.
Why should struggling tenants in Ontario believe that the Premier or this government will protect them from unfair, unreasonable, unaffordable rent increases?
Minister.
Well, thank you, Speaker, and again, thank you to the member of the third party for the question. And as I've said before, I appreciate the focus that the NDP have brought to this issue, and we certainly welcome them joining in the focus. What we have said on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, is that we will be looking at expanding rent controls. We will be bringing in a suite of legislation that addresses more than rent controls. You know, we've been studying this issue, we've been working on this issue. We have been traveling across the province, talking about the RTA to a wide variety of stakeholders, so that we can get it right, so that we can bring legislation forward that deals with rent control, that deals with expanding rent control, and a whole host of other issues around that fact. Mr. Speaker, we get it. We're working on it.
Hear, hear.